Welcome back to Politico Politica with me, your host, Isabella Akinseye. It's time for our Project Lagos segment. So why do you want to represent Amuwo Odofin at the federal level?
We cannot allow experiments in our political development. As a local government chairman, as an executive person, I know the amount of development I brought in there. I met one doctor. I left 28 doctors. I met about 4 nurses. I left over 50 nurses. I employed over 840 non-pensionable workers. I put the name of Amuwo Odofin on the global map. I was given an award in the United Nations headquarters in New York. We delivered 3,000 babies with 0 mortality rate. And we provided over 450,000 materials, writing materials for free for students.
So now there's a new chairman and some of your projects have been abandoned. I mean, I've been around Amuwo Odofin in a short time and it doesn't sound like anything you're telling me right now. Will you say your projects were impractical or not sustainable?
Well, we have different vision. Remember that God said it pained him that he created man. Are we going to say God could not see the future and know what would happen? He also pained me that I allowed that character to be the chairman of the local government.
But this is a character that served under you, to use that term. Character.
Lucifer served under God. And he brought evil to this world.
So will you say that's an indictment on your leadership?
Are you going to indict God?
But
things happen.
If you give the example of Ashiwaju and yourself, you're very obedient and loyal.
Yes.
So if you can have that, why didn't you have that with this character?
You cannot see the innermost of man. That does not mean that he's a huru yet. The struggle continues. The struggle for freedom, the struggle for good governance, and quality representation.
So in hindsight, would you have preferred a situation where you, quote and unquote, as a political godfather, install your own person that can continue with your master plan?
I would have loved a situation where the controllers of power will sanction and be more apt in weeding off people that refuse to follow the master plan.
So what's your master plan for Amuwo Odofin?
My master plan is to see an independent Amuwo Odofin that can grow on its own without depending on the state or the federal. All of this master thing for Amuwo is there. We were abandoned by the federal. The state was bogged down with huge amount of work and less resources. The best I could do was think out of the box. I employed so many people to take care of sundry matters. I used the local government bylaw to institute the Green Club, the environmental rangers. Then I instituted them. The Green Club was made up of 50 youth. That concept was to train them in the vocation of horticulture, and they were meant to work for 4 hours a day and earn 20,000 naira as at 2018 up to 2014. Then the dollar was 170 naira. So you know how valuable 20,000 was. And we had lots of cleaners because we were quick to understand that the road is a depreciating asset. Immediately you put a road, it starts depreciating, especially asphalted roads. So we converted to interlocking. For the asphalted road, you need to clean the road regularly and desilt the drainages around the roads. So we did a lot of desilting. For health, we brought in free health and medical care. For the staffs, both political and administrative, training. We have this periodic training both in Nigeria and abroad. And we started e-governance. I remember I bought them iPad. Then BlackBerry was in fashion. I brought Bo 10 for people. And I brought vehicles. We were buying vehicles without getting a loan from a bank, using our pedigree with RT Briscoe. We bought over 36 Corolla of that same year, not second-hand. We went to Tata. We bought a very big truck for our environmental use. We bought bow hits to open underground drainages. We bought swan boogies to open some of the drainages and what have you. We worked with the NYSC to give us doctors, nurses, engineers, and some of those core members we converted to teachers because we had to also employ an education consultant that prepared them, and we pushed them into our various schools. We rehabilitated all the schools and built new schools. We built the biggest and finest parliament for our legislators and all of that. Amuwo Odofin economy became the fastest growing local economy in Nigeria, as said by the CBN during the groundbreaking of the Festac ShopRite. That was why ShopRite came into Festac Town.
Will you say that all these projects are enough to assure you of victory at the polls? And will you say that this is a tip of what is to come if you're given that, you're given the mandate?
You can do your SWOT analysis in the community. You can go do it, and they will tell you they need me more now than ever to salvage the situation.
Or what can we expect to see in Amuwo Odofin in the next 4 years?
What you are going to see is beyond legislative duties. Because what we need here now are extraordinary effort. Because we are going to use our credibility and our pedigree to attract investment and lure investors to come in, especially for the real estate.
So what happens when you have characters that do not align with this plan?
We are going to whip them in line.
How will you whip them in line?
Information. The Bible says, my people die because of knowledge. What is knowledge? Information. By the time you bring out what they earn every month to the governor of Lagos, to the ministry, look at what this guy earned. Look at what he has achieved this month. You just oppose it. You don't need any EFCC. The ministry will clamp down and make him work. And if he refuses to work, the assembly will call him to order. If he refuses, then the parliament there will weed him off.
So will you say that the people of Amuwo Odofin are in for a time when there's an iron fist in the land?
It's not being iron-fisted. It's about policies and principles. You can't achieve if you have no policy, and if you have no principle to drive your policy. The principle you need is for you to always put your hands on the plow, to cut out wastages, and to stick to the plan.
Can you give us a bit of a teaser or the tip of the iceberg on this Lagos master plan? We keep hearing about it.
The Lagos master plan is key more on infrastructure. It is only when you have quality infrastructure that you can grow your economy. Part of that infrastructure is power generation, good road network, good drainage system, you understand, and the human capital that can make this thing work. That will also bring in robust tourism that stagger our economy and make the funds go around. And of course, security.
So if this Lagos master plan is as detailed, going by what you've said, why would people in the APC want to go against this master plan?
People will always want to go because of personal aggrandizement. People will always want a shortcut to life. Look, if you have a conglomerate and you don't impose sanction, everybody have tendency of not wanting to work, but wanting to amass wealth. There's always a gatekeeper in every system. That gatekeeper is the most important person to make everybody walk in a positive direction.
Thank you, Comrade.
Thank you for having me.